Hey viewers, welcome to VL Astrology. Once again, I'm Vanita Lenka. I'm a Vedic astrologer. And today I'm going to be talking about this important transit which is happening in the sky on the 9th of May. That is Ketu transiting through the Anuradha Nakshatra. It was in Jyeshtha earlier, and now it's going backwards. As we all know, Ketu and Rahu move backwards. So it's going to be going to the sign of Saturn. That is happening on the 9th of May till the 19th of August. I take the true notes, as you all know. I don't take the mean notes because true notes means that they are moving in their actual motion. They do get direct this year as well for a couple of days, which I will be covering as well in my some other video in the future. So stay tuned for the updates like that. I do update on the weeklies, the love readings and the relationship readings every week. I do take care of the monthly transits as to how they are, and I convey through my tutorials also whatever knowledge, little bit of knowledge that I have gathered in 25 to 30 years of time from different gurus as well as from reading many, many books. So that's how, that's what I do. And I use the Sidereal Zodiac to predict as well. And today I'm going to be talking about Ketu. And before I go there, as per your ascendant, how the predictions are going to be. So stay tuned for that. And do not forget to subscribe my channel, because if you will subscribe, it will keep me going. I'm not here to make money or be fool people or fleece money out of people. No way. There is a cause behind all this, which I've never shared. I will be sharing sometime in the future that why I do all this. And definitely, I would request you to share these videos so that people get the right kind of knowledge and do not get carried away with the, sugar-coated talks that people do. So please do convey and do like the videos if you like them towards the end. So what am I going to be talking about this Ketu Nakshatra transiting through the Anuradha Nakshatra? First of all, I must tell you that Ketu moves backwards and it's going to be touching 4 Navamsas of Scorpio, Libra, Virgo, and Leo. And I will be mentioning all the details in the description box. And as per the Tara Chakra, also let me explain how the Anuradha Nakshatra transit of Ketu is going to be impacting these nakshatras, which are 3, 5, 7, the Janma nakshatras, which are having this connectivity with this Anuradha Nakshatra 3, 5, 7 places away. So for the people who are born under the nakshatras of Pushya, Anuradha, and Uttarabhadrapada, they're going to be having some confusion, some kind of delays and frustrations that they can face. Also, Ardhara, Swati, Shatabisha, they can also have some kind of health issues. So you have to be extra cautious. Rohini, Hasta, and Shravana Nakshatra transit, the people who are born. So this Anuradha Nakshatra transit, that is when you're born with these nakshatras, you have to check from your Janma Nakshatra where this transit is happening. So now it is happening in your it's the fifth Tara from your Janma Nakshatra. So for Rohini, Hasta, and Shravana also, this is the Vipat Tara. So this is going to bring about some obstructions, some obstacles, some delays and frustrations in your life during this long transit. Be extra cautious. For the ones who are born under Venus's nakshatra, that is Bharani, Purva, Falguni, and Purva Ashara, they also have to be taking care of certain things that their decisions they have to make. Some transformational energies might be coming their way. They might be going in for some higher learning, higher education, but out of a lot of hurdles and a lot of problems. So be prepared for all this before signing any agreements, documentation. You have to be taking care, because this is, after all, the 8th house transit. Now, I will be sharing with you the screen as to what the chart of that particular day looks like, so that you are prepared for that as well. And then I move on to the predictive. So first, I will be explaining to you what is this Anuradha Nakshatra transit of Ketu, and then what exactly it can do to, on the mundane level. And then I will go on the sign-wise prediction. So if you don't want to hear the first tutorial part, the summary, then you can just skip I will be mentioning all the timestamps, the chapters in the description box, so that you can just straight away hit on that and just go on to what you want to hear, what your ascendant or the moon sign is. So, all right. So sharing the screen with you guys. Okay. So this is the time of Ketu entering the the Anuradha Nakshatra, because I've just made the video on Mars transiting through the Ardhara Nakshatra. So you can go back and watch that as well. And there is a connectivity, strong connectivity between Mars, Ketu, as well as Saturn and Rahu here. Because Saturn is aspected by Mars, and Ketu is in Anuradha Nakshatra, which is owned by Saturn. And Mars is in Ardhara Nakshatra in Gemini sign, which is ruled by by Mercury, and the Ardhara Nakshatra is ruled by Rahu. So Rahu, Saturn, Mars, Ketu, and Mercury, all the Mercury also are all the malefics which are combining and joining, and they are going to be getting connected during this time. So this is the time when you will be feeling that there is something which is happening in the sky. So what exactly is happening? You must understand that Anuradha Nakshatra is the restorer, it's the order. There has been a shock or a threat that you are going through, and it is also called the Nakshatra, which is the Radha. So it is a nourishing Nakshatra. It is considered to be a very pious Nakshatra. Can be, quieting the rain which follows the thunder and the lightning. So it is like a big atmospheric storm that we are all heading to. But at the same time, there is some peace which we can also anticipate. See, this is called the Mitra. Mitra means the friendliness, actually. So you have that, you have to have that approach of friendliness towards others when Ketu is transiting this nakshatra of Anuradha, because this brings about some contract, some union, some alliance, some promises made, and some kind of friendliness, which or the companionship that you can come across, or maybe the companionship or the rulership, reunion with the divine also can happen, because Ketu is a very spiritual planet. So we must actually, consider this as a good transit also, but at the same time, on the mundane level, Saturn is also being aspected by Mars, so this can bring about some kind of hardships, and we need to be very disciplined during this time if we really want good results. So also I have seen that this is a nakshatra of benevolence. So in case you have any kind of task that you have to do in a very right manner, in a righteous manner, only then you will get the results. Mitra means Mitra's goals to achieve to achieve alliance. Reaching your goal may require bitter compromise because it's Shani. And Varuna rules the dark half of the sky, ruling the dark skies, which is the god of the rain. So, if we see, it's like, that churning of the ocean, as we know, that story goes. So there is some darkness, and then, there will be some ray of hope and some brightness that we can anticipate during this transit. Also, there are certain fears, some grievances in the air, as we all can feel right now. And Ketu is going to be moving into this. It's gradually moving into that, and it is going to be in Scorpio Navamsa also to start with. So more the results of Scorpio now, because Rahu will be in Taurus Navamsa at the place where it is supposed to be, and Ketu will be in the Navamsa of Scorpio to start with, and then we'll be moving backwards towards the Virgo, Libra, and Libra, Virgo, and Leo Navamsas. So this is also going to be bringing about some catastrophe, or there can be some reputation of the the higher authorities that can be at stake. There can be deaths of the rulers or some diplomats, and there can be that we have a lot of international finance and trade also happening during this time. I have seen that, the eighth house transit of any planet, brings about some, death of the national ruler, especially a malefic, and it's in the malefic nakshatra, though Anuradha is not a malefic nakshatra completely, but there can be some restlessness that we can hear, and then the government can go through some upheavals as well, all across the globe. And as I said in my Mars video, Mars into Ardhara, that there can be some problems at the borders because of the Gemini sign being active, and the ruler is Mercury, which is also going in the Rahu Ketu axis. So again, that can bring about tensions, and it can also bring about some setback to the cabinet or the ministers as well. So, and it also rules epidemics, eighth house. Ketu transiting there also rules mortality rates. They are going to be going high, and then there are, this epidemic is also going to take a lot of surge. So you all have to be very careful, and you have to pray to the Lord. You have to be more on that, divine help we have to seek. Also, I have seen, because here Scorpio ruler is Mars and Anuradha Saturn. So there is a lot of aggression in people because of that. Invasive enthusiasm is there to win. That zeal is there, but at the same time, there is a lot of stubbornness because of this combination. This kind of a combination is a very deadly combination, because Mars is looking at Saturn as well, as you can see. And this also brings about some kind of, connectivity with, in a very negative manner as well. So I'm not being sugarcoated. Please don't mind me saying all this, because I'm just forewarning you that why Mars breaking the Kalsarpa also still not got that kind of strength, because Mars was in Mrigashira, it was in its own nakshatra, giving the results of its own, because it was in exchange with Mercury, and now it's going to be going in Rahu's nakshatra, Ketu going in Saturn's nakshatra. So there is a lot of negative influence, but thankfully, we should not forget that Jupiter is looking at this Mars. Jupiter is not looking at Ketu, but definitely Jupiter is looking at this Mars. So there is a big time saving grace till the time Jupiter goes retrograde, because then it loses its potency to give the benefit results. So we must be prepared for that as well. But at the same time, we must remember that the key is to balance the conflicting nature of yours if you want to sail through this, because there will be a lot of demanding situations that we have to go through. There will be a lot of aggression in you, and there will be a lot of instability in people. So you have to be having that churning goes on, during this time. So when there is churning, definitely something comes out. Some beautiful things also come out. So we have to be having those positive energies in us, and that hope when we are, because it is Radha, after all. It is the consort of Lord Krishna, Anuradha, as we know. So you will feel that there is some positive energy which is pulling you to complete the things and change you towards better. Networks are going to be formed, some friendliness and steadiness will be there, and you are thinking about growth and thinking in a very deep rooted manner. You want to just bring out all the negatives and just uproot them from the roots, and just finish off the negatives in you as well. So it is going to be a little tough time, I must say, we are all heading to, but we all are in it together. So let's follow the right path and help each other, because we have, it is, after all, Saturn's nakshatra. So we all are supposed to be together, because it's common men, it's like common purpose and friendship and alliances. So we must be together in this, and we must follow the right path, I must say. All right, so now moving on to the sign-wise predictions, and what exactly is in store for all the 12 zodiac signs, that is the ascendants I take. So let me share. So this is the chart that I have shown you already, and Jupiter is looking at Mars, so big time saving grace. So don't worry. Coming to the Aries sign. All right, for Aries, this Ketu is transiting your 8th house. So the legacy is promised, I must say. You will learn to accept and be humble, and there is a lot of humility that you will be getting during this time. You will be learning something, learning from the idea or reality of some as if there is some setback and then we learn from it. So that is quite likely. Um, this Ketu is in, the eighth house for you. So there is some affliction, of course, Rahu in the second. So it brings about some financial losses, physical weakness during this transit. So you might seek help from others because it is in Anuradha Nakshatra. So it's better that you seek advice and help from somebody from the overseas. And, that fear can be withdrawn as well. Okay, so take care of your health as well. Or maybe you obtain some money from your partners or your family or your in-laws. Okay, coming to the next sign, that is Taurus. For Taurus natives, this happens in your seventh house. Ketu transiting through the Anuradha Nakshatra in the seventh house. So this condition often signifies that there is some partnership or alliance which is extremely important right now. You're giving a priority to the business also, to the marriage also, and there is some kind of balance that you want to make, strike a balance also during this time. Some contracts, some pleasures on cards. Also, there is some churning going on in the relationship. You will be actually communicative. You will be more into the general expression, of love and affection and the friendliness. But at the same time, you have to take care of your health and reputation. There can be problems with the government also. So make sure that there can be, sudden rise, there can be steep fall, steep rise as well. So make sure that you utilize this transit for doing the right, follow the righteous path and do the right things, okay, rather than going in for the shorter route. Coming to the next sign, that is Gemini. For Gemini natives, this transit is happening in your sixth house. And also here we can see that Mars is in your first house, and sixth house Mars in your sixth house Ketu gives, first of all, health issues, some litigation on card, something to do with your relationship. You're having some problems. The recuperative powers are good as well. You can regain from the fall. Just fast for, at least on Wednesdays and Saturdays. If you can do some kind of fasting, have lighter food, so that, you're having some kind of spiritual growth and spiritual, you feel spiritual, when you fast. That's what, I have felt. So there can be some kind of worldly pleasures or comforts that you are going to be deriving through those, uh, spiritual realms that you're going to be in. So you have to be careful about certain things that is related to your partner, related to your travels and your litigation, loans, and enemies. There are hidden enemies you have to be extra careful about, because the Anuradha Nakshatra Lord is going to be eighth house. So this can bring about some transformational energy in you. You're heading to something which actually changes you as a person, some event that happens and you become a better person, or you grow. So that is also quite likely. So we must take all this in stride and take it in a positive manner. All right. For Cancer natives, this transit is happening in your fifth house zone. So some speculative gains are on cards. You will be feeling very attached to your partner. Your heart is full. You feel that you want to be connected with the partner now deeply, intensely, and you want to be successful in your love and relationship. You're putting a lot of effort and you're going to be gaining that kind of momentum also. But at the same time, Saturn is in the seventh house, so the partner can be very indifferent, and they can be that you have a lot of desire and you put a lot of effort, but the partner doesn't, or the partner is not reciprocative. You might gain out of speculative income during this time, of course. At the same time, not a good time to initiate any alliance or any kind of business relationships. Okay. Jupiter is also in your eighth house. So just mind your, um, financials carefully. Okay. For Leo natives, Ketu is going to be in your fourth house in Anuradha Nakshatra, and Saturn is in your sixth house. So you see, we have to combine all these readings because Mars is in the eighth house from Ketu. So this is going to be bringing about health issues, lack of fulfillment of desires, health issues to your mother, And if at all you're going in for some property purchase, you should avoid, and there can be some uh, inclination to purchase immovable property also. But at the same time, there can be some losses that you can incur, or maybe you get something which is a disputed one, so be careful about that. Also, there can be some display of ego, a lot of ego that you have, so you have to tame that. But definitely your Mars is in your 11th house, so there can be some help extending from your business partners or your friend circle, the community you move around in, or your seniors. They can be very influential and they can be of help. So you have a lot of energy and power and zeal to complete things. Definitely you can be promotion on cards, you can be getting that elevation as well. So this is going to be giving you that prominence that you're looking at. Okay, coming to the Virgo sign. For Virgo natives, this transit is happening in your third house, and Mars is in your 10th, which is big belly here. So we must see Saturn in the fifth house. So good for very good for student natives, basically. Also, it gives you sense of awareness. Now you know what exactly is the social environment you're moving around in, and what kind of awareness and impression you want to make on others, what kind of chemistry and bonding and equation. Everything is being settled now. So with your brothers and sisters, or your cousins, with your teachers, peers, now is the time you're going to be forming that chemistry and that bonding, and you might be having some gains through your short journeys. Also, maybe you're traveling with your neighbors, or neighboring places. So that's quite possible that you get that kind of promotion because of your travels and alliances that you're going to be coming across during your business deals that you're making in your workplace. So good for you. And also, this is a good time to grow spiritually. So spend some time because Saturn's nakshatra. Saturn is the yoga kara graha, part of, because it's a friendly graha. So I feel that this Saturn transit, nakshatra transit, is going to be positive for you. So enjoy this transit depending upon your nakshatra you're born in. Definitely, which I have mentioned initially, I'll mention in the description box as well. So uh, be very cool and relaxed in your communication. Don't go overboard. Be moderate, and don't have those ego clashes. All right. Coming to the next sign, that is Libra. For Libra, this is happening in your second house, and Saturn is in your fourth house. So this brings about some change in your job, change of abode, your residence change. You are this condition also gives unusual financial activities or abilities to deal with the earnings and managing your resources. So you have a very different approach now, maybe some unconventional kind of an approach that you have. But this will bring about some financial matters which are going to get resolved. You're going to get a lot of relief here, but at the same time you have to be very, very cautious in your speculation, because there can be that you incur losses if you go overboard. So make sure that you do not go get carried away in that zone. Definitely you will be getting some connectivity with a new alliance, or somebody who is going to come to your rescue, some help coming towards you. So be receptive. Okay, just take care of your speech, your mouth region, your teeth region. Okay, jaw, ears, eyesight. For for Scorpio natives, this transit is happening in your first house, and Saturn is in your third house, being the nakshatra lord. So this will give you some partnership business right now you're in, or some growth prospects that you're looking forward to, some public dealings that you're going to be getting involved in, or maybe the partner is very, very indifferent, or is not physically charged up. So or is detaching from you. Maybe you're not you are detached and the partner is being indifferent. So you have to be very careful in your, it's a very sensitive zone right now, with Saturn also in its own zone in the third house. So there can be some lack of connectivity in romance. You can be very cold because Saturn is looking at your fifth house as well. So you need to accomplish things which empower you, basically, which develop you, and make you self-sufficient. So focus on those energies rather than just dragging on to the relationship only. So there can be learning experiences, because maybe some language you're going to be taking up and you learn, because Ketu is looking at your fifth house and the ninth house. So creative energies are pretty strong, and Ketu gives you those inclinations even more. And spiritually, you're going to be inclined for sure. For Sagittarius natives, this happens in your 12th house, and Saturn is in your second house. So this gives some kind of problems in or depletion of financials, and some kind of connectivity with the foreigners, which or maybe there is something that you want to learn, um, and you're in that seclusion. You want to isolate yourself from the people around you. This is also leading to hospitalization, so be careful about that. I don't want to scare you guys, but this can be giving you some problems in your in and around those areas. Maybe somebody in the family falls sick and you have to be taking care of them. Digestive troubles you can have also. Pay more attention to your circulation. Eat right. Do not get overindulgent in your food habits. This can lead to occult sciences also. Maybe you get involved in some new subjects or something to do with uh, occult sciences that you want to take up. So it is definitely going to be giving you some fortune there as well. Mars is in your seventh house, looking at your Saturn. So this is definitely going to be giving some kind of, lack of bonding or ego clashes at the place of work as well as with your partner. So maintain cool, be calm, because your first house is under the Pap Kartari, that is it's hemmed between malefic. So there can be some troubles that you can face, health issues that you can face, okay, or some kind of mental setup that is changing right now. So change happens maybe a little difficult, some insecurity that you're going to be feeling during this time. So I feel that you should be more nurturing to others and take help of others rather than having that stubborn nature of yours, okay? Just be more flexible. For Capricorn natives, it's happening in your 11th house. And this is the time that you need more friends around you. You want to talk to people. You want to be having that kind of secured environment right now. You need that kind of help. So you should actually extend help to get that help. So you should have that sense of humanitarian, humility, serving others. And Saturn is over your Lagna, looking at your 10th house. Mars is in your 6th house. So these combinations definitely lead to some kind of connectivity and insecurity also. Connectivity with the world, but at the same time, insecurities, the inner fears that you have. So you have to be having that kind of relationship where, you have that kind of bonding with people rather than being indifferent to people. Okay, because Saturn over the Lagna makes you indifferent. You don't want to talk to anybody. You don't feel like doing things. That is something which is, that isolation kind of a feeling with the people around you. But at the same time, Ketu is going to be giving you that kind of stability. It is going to give you that spiritual bent of mind to serve others as well. So utilize it. It is a very spiritual, nakshatra of Saturn. So you should be more inclined to those areas, and you will be able to get that name and fame that you're looking at, as well as some connectivity with the children. Childbirth is also quite likely. There can be too much of jealousy because of Mars in the sixth house. So you have to tame those energies to grow rather than, being stagnant. Okay. For Aquarius natives, this transit is happening over your 10th house. So 10th house is the condition which makes you, uh, you know, not too inclined towards career. You're too detached and you want to spend less time. You don't feel like doing actually, that kind of a thing. But at the same time, you have to be more sacrificing. You have to think about the people you're working for. Maybe they need you. So you have to be more focused on nurturing others, because this is a very nurturing kind of a nourishing kind of a nakshatra. And Saturn is over your 12th house as well, not to forget. So this means that you will be working with people in some way, but you will not be showing what kind of person you are. So do for others unconditionally. That is how, you will be able to balance your home front as well as your workplace, because people need you. So be more nurturing, be more nourishing, be more easier to people. There can be some clashes with your father, you're going to be having during this time, but at the same time, you have to balance things. You have to, not, I'm not talking about your father, but you have to balance things out. Mars is also in your fifth house, looking at your 12th house. So there can be some, alliance that you can come across overseas, maybe online, you meet somebody and you start dating, and all those things can happen. But at the same time, this can give you some kind of troubles at the place of work, detachment at the place of work. You don't feel like doing anything. So you have to not just focus on your desires. Don't be too stubborn. Be more flexible. Be more giving. Be more nurturing towards others, and grow as a person. Okay. Coming to the next sign and the last one, yes, Pisces. So for Pisces native, this transit happens over your ninth house. So ninth house brings about some lessons that you have to learn now. Okay, this is the house of learning, higher learning, deeper learning, I feel, because it's like, bring nourishing you. This is the place where you feel that something new is blossoming. You learn from your lessons, and then you are going to be bringing about the best you towards the in the limelight. So how do you do that? That is up to you, and how you make the others feel nurtured also, how you utilize your development, how you utilize it to serve others, learn some languages, learn new subjects, and do something for others. This is the time you are going to be doing that, and you're going to be maybe you can disregard your religion. Don't it's better to be quiet than being very vocal about things. So there can be some strange experiences because of that, which can lead to some kind of detachment with the people or the world around you. But at the same time, you're growing spiritually also, and you're learning maybe lot many things. You're nurturing others. You're nourishing yourself also. How do you nourish yourself? By attaining knowledge, by gaining spiritual growth. Spiritual growth comes only when you are educated. Educated as in, like, you're reading, you're learning, you're forgiving others. So that is something that you'll be going through, because this is a very nurturing and a nourishing kind of a nakshatra as well. So the more the hard work, more the more the hard work, more the discipline, better the results. So you must actually uh, formulate your routine, and be receptive to the people around you, and help them, because this transit is basically here to help others. If you help others, you will be feeling that you're getting that kind of help as well from others. All right, so this is going to be a very beautiful transit for sure. But on the mundane level, yes, there are certain problems that we all are going through. You can hear the initial summary part to understand what exactly are the problems that we all can go through. So just make sure that you are going to be utilizing this transit towards better, and you become a better you. Okay, now quickly, I will take the questions if you have any. Thank you so much, everyone who are here. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Nitya. Thank you, Farina. Thank you, Beanie. And how is it going to be for people in Ketu Dasha? See, Ketu Dasha, you have to interpret which sign it is in, first of all, because Ketu will give the results of the sign it is placed in. Suppose it is in Capricorn, so it will give the results of Saturn. Where your Saturn is, it will be giving those kinds of results. Which nakshatra Ketu is in, that will be the deciphering the Dasha. How, can you tell me how this transit affects if the Venus is in Anuradha Nakshatra? See, Venus in Anuradha Nakshatra means that you are very nurturing kinds to your partner in your relationships. You're very receptive, and you're very sensitive to your relationships. When Ketu goes there, Ketu brings about some detachment in your relationship. So you might have less urge, the sexual urge, the physical urge reduces, and you become more spiritually inclined. See, it is not that the ones who are having sexual relationship are not spiritual, but that can also be one of the reasons of attaining that spirituality. But at the same time, this detaches you from the relationship you're in the Anuradha Nakshatra Venus over Venus. Okay. Um, Yes, good morning to everybody, whosoever is here in this zone. I did listen to another video which was indicated that Saturn is very powerful in the next 30 days till 23rd of May 2021 with Ketu transit into Saturn. How will it? See, it is which sign you're talking about, I couldn't get you. But yes, definitely Saturn is going to be in, I will be making the video on the nakshatra transit so that you know what exactly is that going to be bringing about, because Saturn is going to be in the nakshatra of Gemini in Navamsa, and it is in the Shravana nakshatra. So Saturn is strong in Shravana, in the Gemini Navamsa. You must not forget, Gemini sign is afflicted right now. So Saturn is going to be for a long time, 25th of July till 25th of July, Saturn is going to be in the Navamsa of Gemini. So because in retrogression also it is going to be there. So it is going to be a little difficult, if you see on the mundane level, this Saturn transit in the Gemini sign, Navamsa, right? And when it is forming a connectivity with Ketu right now, so you have to check Ketu in Scorpio, so Mars and Saturn also. If Saturn is strong in your chart, definitely this transit is not going to be impacting you negatively, for sure. Okay. Fabio is asking, you can talk about how this transit affects those who have natal Rahu in Anuradha. Yes, actually, I can just briefly tell you, because people will not be watching this end part, and we are just expanding this duration of this video. I'll quickly tell you that when Ketu this is the inverse return, basically, when Rahu is in Anuradha Nakshatra, when you're by birth, and when Ketu transits over it. So it is like a completion of the cycle. So it can give you a lot of material growth, a lot of material comforts. You are doing for others because you are self-centric when Rahu is in Anuradha. But when Ketu is transiting over it, then you balance out things. You do for others, and you realize that you need to be more on the nurturing side, and you have to be more helpful to others. You are on the humanitarian grounds, you're helping others rather than being selfish. Because if Rahu is there, you become self-centric. You are materialistically inclined to grow materialistically. You can go to any extent. But when Ketu transits over there, you can maybe at the place of work become very, very, materialistic, and you can become very, very selfish if Rahu is in Anuradha only. But Ketu will be taming those energies. All right. So thank you so much for watching, everyone, and stay safe, stay blessed, and keep watching my videos, and do subscribe. And if you haven't till now, thank you so much for watching. Om Tat Sat.